Oh, all right, guys. Today we are going to be reacting to Rachel Wilson's Big Facts about the modern women propaganda. Let's jump in.
Say Bear. Rachel, what about you?
Oh, man.
Okay.
There's an article on my Substack where I go over the last 45 years of data about men and whether or not the primary risk to women is men, and it's absolutely not. Like, unequivocally, not even close. Your husband or the man in your life poses like far less risk to you than you've been led to believe by propaganda.
What was the largest risk?
The riskiest situation for a woman is to be in a cohabitation situation with a guy that she's sleeping with.
Wow.
Whereas far and away the safest is to be living with your married husband and children, like by a factor of 12 times. And it was a major talking point of feminism in the 60s and 70s that men are these abusers, they're alcoholics, they're going to beat you, and so you have to be able to leave and you have to be able to cohabitate, or you have to just be able to remain unattached so that you can get away if he turns out to be a bad guy. But it turns out that when you take the primary person out of your life who has an interest in providing for you and protecting you, you actually put yourself at much greater risk, and you end up with the kind of guys who are going to pump you and dump you and be bad to you and treat you like garbage because they have no vested interest in long-term what's your best interest. So, like, the data's super overwhelming on it.
Why do you pick Bear? Just curious.
I just been through like a lot of things with men. I was
Sure.
assaulted as a kid, and a couple of my first experiences in like sexually was also like in high school. So I just feel like I don't know. I'd rather be mauled than go through that again. But that's just based off my experiences, not just based off of statistics.
But okay, keep in mind, this is a random man or a random bear. So the random man could be, the overwhelmingly likely to either leave you alone or be helpful in some sort of woods situation.
But I'm like, why are we both standing in the middle of the woods? Like,
I think
That's
you're
not the question.
overthinking
I
the
feel like
scenario
if
a little
I'm
bit, but
in the middle of nowhere in the woods, you're probably a serial unaliver.
No way. Serial
Hold on.
unaliver. Well, you're not going to
Then
find
why
no
are you in the
victims
middle of
out
the
in
woods?
Yeah, the man's going to be in the
Maybe
woods
they want
because he's
vacation.
hunting
Maybe
or
he did too.
hiking or doing bro
well,
stuff.
here's the scenario though. So it's like a random man. So you, of the entire U.S. population, you're just plucking a random man out of it. So you can't even think of what are the motivations for him being there.
Yeah, have you guys seen that? Like grizzly bears fighting each other. Man, it looks insane. It looks like you wouldn't, if you really have logic in your brain, you would never say that I would love to be with a bear, or I would choose a bear over a human being. Those animals, they just slash each other, you know. It's just the propaganda so strong.
It's like both of you just get plucked into the woods.
Meaning the propaganda has so much power that has infiltrated their mind to a point that, well, a lot of folks are saying that we should just focus on the new generation, meaning the ones that are, you know, they're not teenagers yet. 'Cause at this point, these generations, the millennials, Gen Z, they're gone. They're completely gone. Let me know what you guys think.
You are coming across, so you will come across a random man or a random bear. You will get into contact.
I'm just
So if you were to like roll the dice and you just randomly get put into a situation with a random man, what do you think is like the chance of any given man, a random man, wanting to harm you in some way, wanting to assault you in some way?
So if Jeffrey Dahmer was in the woods versus the bear, what would you rather?
No. The question is what's the population of the U.S.? Over 300 million, 150?
Yeah.
So it's like 150.
You're basically saying that you statistically think that there's a more chance that the man is going to be wicked and evil towards you.
I'm not even thinking statistically. I'm thinking personally. Like,
well, okay, but it's but it's a random man, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I was also thinking I could probably outrun a guy. I cannot outrun a bear, especially in their natural habitat.
Yeah.
I don't
There's
think
no
I
way.
could outrun either.
You're all okay. Well, that being said, a bear, we know for sure, if we get too close, is gonna cause harm.
Let me ask you a different question.
Yeah.
Would you rather, let's say you see a man at a campfire, and then you see like a bear at a campsite who's like ruffling through some like food or something. Who would you rather go up and pat on the head 3 times? The man or the bear?
Obviously the man.
Okay. Here's a different scenario. You're on the top floor of a burning building.
I'm so glad I'm not dating. Donated
Hey, good to see you, dude.
$200.
It's been a while.
If my wife was
Thank you,
hiking
man.
through the woods alone, she's 5'4" plus 110 pounds, say I wasn't present, I would rather her come across another random man rather than a bear 100% of the time. Irrational.
Thank you. I'm so glad I'm not dating. Good to see you back in the chat, dude. Okay, here's the other scenario.
What's up, bro?
You're on the top floor
Yo, what's up with these usernames? I'm so glad I'm not dating.
of a burning building for an appointment. You don't work there, so you don't know like the people in the building, whatever. Top floor of a burning building. The stairs burning. There's 2 elevators, top floor. There's a man in one of the elevators and a bear in the other elevator. And you're trying to get to the bottom. Which
Good question.
elevator do you go into? The one with the random man or the one with the bear?
Well, I feel like the answer is obvious, the one with the man in it, because we're both trying to escape something.
Okay.
Okay, just leave it as it is.
Good times. All right, well, there it is. I feel like I need to ask that question, like, show of hands, because I feel like some of you would have said bear.
Yeah.
I thought about it.
I think some of you would have said bear, but then she said man.
Yeah.
Look at that. Good
I-
for you.
I'm reasonable here.
Yeah,
Come
you're
on.
reasonable. Okay, there you go. That's good. That's good. All right, so we did man versus bear. Let's do, wait, actually, Grid One Motorsports. He's still in the chat. He mentioned the patriarchy.
I did.
Do you guys want to, this is definitely dating related. Do you guys want to smash the patriarchy? Should we smash
I don't
Smash
even
the
understand
patriarchy.
necessarily like what we're talking about here when we say the patriarchy.
Well, so like, you know, feminism, one of the core tenets of feminism is there's the patriarchy theory. Patriarchy.
Okay.
Do you want to smash it? Should we get rid of the patriarchy?
I feel like I just don't care enough. But
Okay, cool. What about you?
I think there are certain aspects where it's just naturally going to happen, and I think there's some places where maybe there could be more leeway. That's it. That's really it.
So is there a patriarchy?
These days, I want to say just like smidge where you're looking. You'd have to look. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. I see
Yeah.
you want to say something, and I want you to.
Oh, I was making a
shoot
joke in
each
my head like, yeah, I want to smash the patriarchy, but not smash the patriarchy, if you know what I meant.
Oh, yeah.
You know? I think that there could be some tweaks, but I don't want to end it, no.
Okay.
No, we should not get rid of the patriarchy.
No, we should not get rid of it.
I think I also don't really know what the patriarchy is that much.
Do you feel like, so when feminists talk about the patriarchy, they're usually saying there's this historic conspiracy of men to control women, to keep them under their boot, to prevent them from having power or free will or like the choice to leave or do what they want, right? Mm-hmm. There's this effort among men in general to keep women like under their foot a little bit, to keep them down. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that's a thing?
Maybe in the past, but not so much now.
Okay.
Yeah, same. I feel like we all can pretty much do what we want, so.
Okay, question. What are we going to do about the men that think that they can lead, but they can't? We're supposed to just let them, like, run shit? I mean, I don't see that.
Well, can you give me an example of a man who thinks he can lead, but doesn't?
So it could be, like, if we're talking about the patriarchy in general, we could talk about a president. I don't want to pick one and say, like, what I think, but I'm not going to say every man is going to be great to lead and that's been in office.
So do you guys assume then that when we're talking about like patriarchy that all men have dominion over all women, or do we think that there's a hierarchy among men?
I can respect that.
Yeah. And I think one thing that feminism did unintentionally that's been really destructive for everybody is it destroyed that hierarchy among men. And now what you have, because you used to have the like more alpha type of men,
yeah, we used to
keeping down the like beta cuck type of like, you know, the gamma type of males who are just jealous and resentful, and they think that they're like, I should be having a girlfriend, she should like me, but she only likes that 6 foot tall football player.
Called the simps, the male feminists, the ones that just wanna. Male feminists, I remember Joe Peterson and Joe Rogan, there's an episode about this. They describe them as sneaky. That you see them in the picture, they're sneaky. There's always trying to be in favor, you know, of the movement. But they always down the line, they want a piece of that meat, man. That's the male feminist. Someone that you can even trust. And by the way, females despise them. As a matter of fact, they despise them.
And I'm gonna show her, you know, those type
like
of guys.
A girl.
Yeah. Yes. They used to bully those guys into their proper place.
I love that. We need to bring it back.
Yeah, keep them kind of like where they need to be, keep them in line a little bit. But what feminism and egalitarianism did was kind of like take that away. So now you do have these feminine, by the way, feminist men, okay? All they're trying to do is what?
Get women.
Yeah, they're just they're trying to fuck.
Yeah,
right? So they're not honest dudes. They're not gonna be leaders. They're gonna be shitheads. They're gonna be impersonators. They're gonna be the kind of dudes that you don't want. And it used to be that you had to compete for a wife. You know, back in the day, like you had to prove to a man that you could support his daughter, that you could take care of her, that you were worthy of marrying her. Now we all just like go for the guy who like we all pick the wrong dudes, right? Very often we pick the wrong guy because some of them have adapted and figured out how to manipulate and sneak their way in. And like the guy who you friend zoned forever, and then the minute you break up with your boyfriend, he's like right there with a bottle of wine and like, oh honey, you know, like he's trying to use what he can to get what he wants. So like they act like females. They act sneaky and they use manipulation and subterfuge and gossip and things like that to get girls. Okay. And so we end up with these dudes. Right?
Can I ask? So, you know, I know people who are like that, and I know people who are feminists who aren't like that. They're
George. Yeah. You know, alpha guys that are feminists, right? You know, alpha guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're the leader of men, and they're feminists, right? Oh yeah, sure. We believe on that. You're the only one to believe that. You're the only one to believe that. There's so much alpha. Why you're not attracted to him? Why you're not with him? Man, these females. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll see you next time.